Hey there, we're looking at a 2013 Jeep. This one's a Compass, but it's got the 2.4 liter engine. And a common issue with these, actually there's a few common issues, but just showing you kind of what we've got in front of us. One of the issues that might cause this vehicle not to run could be a fuse blown out somewhere. We've determined on here that it's not one of the fuses, at least not one of the, not anything inside the vehicle. When you turn the starter, it makes a click, and after the click, nothing happens. The lights dim a little bit, and then it starts, it just goes back to silence. You hear one click, no groaning, no moaning. Here is where you have a fuse box that is in a terrible location right in front of your tire on your driver's side. This is a lot of times the root of the problem with these vehicles. One or all of those fuses will corrode and the pins will break off. I call them fuses. This is a relay. So a lot of times these pins will corrode and cause a no start in the vehicle. Let's see if I can put that back where it belongs. So this vehicle was dropped off. I was not told much about it other than it stopped running on the interstate, which is not that uncommon with these 2.4 liter engines as well as the 2.0 engines in these Chrysler vehicles. So getting to this, the easiest way to get to this is actually just to remove your fender well around your tire, pull your front wheel off, pop this section out, and then you can get in here to this fuse block. There's not a good way to get to it from above. They've mounted this where it's practically impossible to get to without pulling the wheel and pulling this and then checking to see if any of these are bad. I guess if you've got a skinny enough arm, you might be able to get to it from inside, but it's a long way down there and not easy to get to. So that can be one of the issues. Then there's crankshaft position sensors, camshaft sensors. There are all kinds of sensors on these engines that go bad and cause problems. There's a fuse box over here that could have burned out relays or fuses. You know, emission systems can cause these not to run. After spending a day working on this, I finally got the full story. The young man was driving down the interstate, probably driving too fast and too hard, according to his girlfriend, and a plume of white smoke came out. A loud pop happened, like a sledgehammer hitting the vehicle, and it stopped running. He coasted off the interstate and parked it. If I had known that at the beginning and that it wouldn't turn over, we would have determined pretty quickly there was likely a seized cylinder, one of the pistons broken or something. So we've checked in there. And then if you look down here, we found this the other day actually, that's the culprit. One of his connecting rods on a piston 3, cylinder 3 in this case, one of those broke loose in the downstroke position, so probably the cylinder seized from either not being properly oiled or having a bad oil pump in the vehicle. The piston seized and the the connecting rod ripped downward and ripped apart, and then it spit all those parts out through the front of the engine through that hole. So this engine is totaled. There's no sense in trying to repair this. If you want to replace it, you're going to put a whole new engine in. But with these 2.4 liters, I say just throw them away and buy something different. I've had a couple of these. I've not had good luck with any of them. All of them that we've had got close to about 200,000 miles, between 190 and 200,000 miles before a failure. But still, when they do fail, it's typically catastrophic. Anyway, there's a few things you can check. Obviously, the big hole in the engine, if you find that or find engine parts laying around, that's the first thing I'd look at. After you check out the relay block up here by your wheel well, that typically will cause a no start if one of those goes bad, because there's a control module run off of these that'll kill the vehicle and prevent it from running. Also, if your engine detects that there's something majorly wrong, if your computer picks up something majorly wrong with the engine, it will typically kill it and not allow you to restart it, trying to save the engine as best you can. So there you go. It's a good idea to get a good quality scan tool. It'll tell you a lot. It did not tell us anything because it doesn't really have a code that says big freaking hole in engine. If it did, it would probably tell us that there was a big freaking hole in the engine. Also, here's your starter right here. That's your starter relay or solenoid, and there's your starter down below. So it could be a starter issue, could be a loose wire on that, but check for big holes. I hope it was helpful to somebody out there. If it was, consider giving us a like and subscribe. It does help us reach more people, and we would greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.